I'll be taking you guys along on the journey over the next few months, documenting my meals, my training, how I am in general, trying my best to demonstrate what I go through on this cut because it's going to be huge. Now I'm going to be cutting very drastically, going from my starting weight, which was peak bulk, about 120 kilos. I'm going to go and try to get to 95 kilos. It's a 35 kilo drop. Now maybe I'll be a bit higher, but I really don't know. I don't know what I'm going to look like. I really haven't been below 100 kilos in 3 years. So I wonder what I'm going to look like. No idea. I'm about 6'2", so 188, 189 centimeters, around that. It's not hard for me to gain weight. I love to eat food. It's going to be hard for me to lose weight. I really just want to reveal everything that I've built over the past few years because I've gathered the stone. Now it's time to chip away at the stone. Carve it into a nice looking breedable stone. Currently doing 3,000 calories a day with around 250 grams of protein, around 100 grams of fat and about 300 grams of carbs. Carbs and fats will change. I do tend to eat more fat than carb. I love my oil, I love my butter, etc., steaks. So I do tend to lean that way. So to recap on my first week, which I didn't document, sadly, it was honestly more challenging than I thought. I think when you've been eating so much food for so long, your body really gets used to it. So really pulling back from that, having to strip away all the excess fat, excess calories, excess oil and sugar is hard for the first few days. But already I've started to get a little bit used to it. And it's not a bad thing. Just got to be smarter with my decisions. So today, for example, I made some slow cooked shredded chicken with some of those Spud Light low calorie potatoes, and it was a fucking amazing meal. I basically slow cooked the chicken, braised it in my pot, my Le Creuset pot or whatever the fuck it's called, with some honey mustard. I will be doing this recipe in the future because it was amazing and it was extremely low calorie, literally no oil used, very filling. So let's talk about the training aspect. What's it going to look like? Doing a 5-day split. Upper body, Monday. Lower body, Tuesday. Upper body, Wednesday. Lower body, Thursday. Upper body, Friday. So 3 upper body sessions, 2 lower body sessions. I've done this split before and it worked really well for me in the past because it means you're in the gym frequently. And I prefer hitting less exercises but more frequently for each muscle because it means I can really focus on the quality over the quantity, which I've talked about before, which is really important. So it allows me to push pretty hard, push heavy weights, but still get good frequency and volume over the week. In terms of like powerlifting stuff, I'll be benching mainly Larson press on Monday, which is today. And then everything else is going to be mostly machines. Because machines you can basically get a higher stimulus to fatigue ratio out of. So you get more muscle stimulation for less overall body fatigue. So what should you expect following along on this series? Expect to see low calorie meals, maybe a full day of eating, insights into diet, and just watch my progress. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be real, I'm going to show you where I fuck up. In terms of tracking, I'll be tracking my food on MyFitnessPal very accurately, but I'm not going to go overboard. I'm not going to track my water. I'm going to be tracking my weight as frequently as possible. So I've been currently doing it every morning after I piss or shit, before I drink or eat anything, to give a very accurate trend. Then over the weeks we can see if we're going up or down or fucking sideways. So I think finally I want to go over why I feel the need to do this. When I was younger I was always the fat kid and I lost a lot of weight. When I first started getting into the gym, became really skinny. Then I realized you can actually get big and gain some muscle. Got lean twice after that, very lean actually. I'll put some photos on the screen. And then, like I said, I gained a lot of weight purposely. I felt it's gotten a little bit out of hand. I let myself go a little bit. And I felt that also I was at the point where I'm not getting much of a return on my weight gain in terms of muscle mass. Like, yeah, I've noticed differences, but it was mainly just like fat here, fat gain here, muscle mass here, muscle gain. So just gaining too much fat. I was just at the point where it's like honestly getting a bit unhealthy. Being 120 kilos, you know, you get out of breath easily. not a good quality of life to live, really. My plans for after I get to my goal weight are to maintain it for a little bit. Maybe I'll add a little bit of weight from there. But I want to try and, I'll see when I get there, but right now I have the idea of trying to stay relatively lean and see what my strengths will be like there. I really want to try and basically improve my strength to weight ratios because they're shocking right now. They're embarrassing, honestly, and just genuinely improve myself. I also want to do this to improve my health, improve my mind, tell myself that I can stick to something and be disciplined, because I've tried twice before and I've just failed, and I know my friends can see that I've failed, and you know, they kind of poke fun at me for it, and that's fair because I fucking, gave up on it when I shouldn't have. This time I'm actually going to stick to it. I'm making a promise right now that I'm going to stick to it and follow it through. So if you want to follow my journey and see what happens over the next 6 months, please like, subscribe, and share this video. Remember, all publicity is good fucking publicity.